Good morning. My name is Ashley Singleton. I am the iPrice or the Injury Prevention Research Center at Emory Program Manager. And I'm so excited to be here today and talking with a very special guest. And I'll let her introduce herself. So, Norma, will you please just tell us your name and your title and where do you work?
Thank you so much, Ashley. So my name is Norma Mendoza, and I'm the Multicultural Program Director at Cherokee Family Violence Center.
Awesome. And Norma, what is Cherokee Family Violence Center?
Well, Cherokee Family Violence Center is a nonprofit organization that was created in 1983, and we have been providing assistance for victims of domestic violence and their families.
Wow, since 1983?
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time. You guys have a lot of experience. So are the services that you provide, are they only available to people and families that live in Cherokee County?
Well, no. I mean, actually, we're located in Canton City in Cherokee County, and we have several services. We have a shelter, an emergency shelter that has only 12 beds. We have also a transitional housing program that has 72 apartments. And we work with the Department of Community Affairs in order to provide Section 8 vouchers for the people who are going to be living in our transitional housing program. We also have our legal program in order to assist victims to file for temporary protective order, and also, to learn a little bit more about the criminal and the civil systems in the United States. We also have children's program. We also have my program, which is a multicultural program. And in the multicultural program, we work with immigrants, victims of domestic violence from any country of origin. So we have been served around 702 uh, persons from 80 countries of origin. So our services, even though we're located in Canton, I mean, we primarily provide the services for the residents of Cherokee County,
Mm-hmm.
but we also answer hotlines. We have a two local hotlines, English and Spanish, and we answer the statewide domestic violence hotline in Spanish. So we work for the whole state, helping Spanish-speaking victims, to access to resources and services as a victim of domestic violence.
I see, I see. And so what about how has like the COVID-19 pandemic impacted the services that you all provide? How has it changed things for you all?
Yeah, well, nobody was, expecting that this pandemic was going to happen. So we had to be very creative in the way to keep providing the same services. We have a lot of clients living in our transitional housing program and at the shelter at that time. So it was kind of difficult working from home. But at the same time, we create a lot of connection
Mhm.
with them through the phone and now through virtual meetings and things like that, because we really wanted to be connected with them in order to provide services. So the services that we were providing to those people were increasing a lot, because some of them were losing their jobs, some of them didn't have enough money, to pay bills and things like that. They were scared, they were needing some emotional support most of the time. So all the services were increasing. And regarding the hotline were, well, in the beginning it was decreasing all the phone calls, and
Mhm.
it's obvious because, I mean, if the victims were isolated with their abusers, because of the social distancing, and they were not able to go outside, it was going to be very difficult for them to contact us in any way. So in the beginning, it was decreasing a lot, and that's why we have our website, but we also have social media in English and Spanish. So we were working a lot, posting like 2 or 3 posts on Facebook and Instagram, giving some tips and safety planning and a lot of awareness, because we wanted the people to be safe.
Yeah. I think that brings up a really good point, Norma, that you all have had to adapt and change and use social media and websites. How can people find you all online? What sites can they visit?
Yeah, well, our website is www.cfbc.org, and you can find us there. And we are in social media. We are in Facebook, on Instagram, and Twitter. In English, you just look for CFBC, and in Spanish, you have to look for CFBC Multicultural. Uh, and we have been working a lot with social media in the past, but right now, because of this, we wanted to have all the information and resources for the people through social media. Not just about domestic violence and safety
Mhm.
plan, but also about what was going on regarding coronavirus and some, safety measures and things like that. So we were posting a lot.
Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent. And I love that it's in English and in Spanish.
Yeah.
That's so helpful. So you all at Cherokee Family Violence Center, you all also support and help community organizations across the state, right? Like, can you talk to me a little bit more about what you all do to support those organizations across the state?
Well, as I was mentioning to you, answering the statewide domestic violence hotline make us to have this type of relationship with several organizations around the state,
Mhm.
because we want the people who are living in a different county than ours to know where to go, who will be helping them, and help the others, to provide these services, because sometimes probably they don't have Spanish speaking staff, and that's where we can help and we can provide interpretation. So the statewide number is the A100 334 2836, which
Mhm.
is the Haven number, is
Mhm.
the Georgia Domestic Violence Crisis Line. And when you dial the number 2, it goes to the Spanish language, and it
Mhm.
goes to all the calls comes to us. And then we have a directory of services, because people is sometimes they're not just looking for domestic violence resources, but mental
Mhm.
health resources or
Mhm.
health resources or
Mhm.
any other situation. So we tried really to have a very good connection with all the agencies that work around the state, so we can also connect the people with them in order to receive the services. And we provide emergency interpretation services,
Mm.
just for law enforcement, and for the people who doesn't speak English and want to call law enforcement, they can call us and we can do the three-way call, providing interpretation. Because for us, the access to language is very important. And as we know, if you receive federal funds, you should be providing access to language. Uh, but in case you can't, you can always contact us, because
Gotcha.
we really want the people to understand what all the resources, and all the services that they are receiving.
Yeah. So the three-way call, organizations can call the safe haven number and ask for like a translator
Interpretation. It's
interpretation.
interpretation, but it's just emergency interpretation.
Gotcha.
Because again, we as a crisis line, we don't know, if while we're providing some interpretation, somebody is in danger, and we're not answering the call just because we're, providing just regular interpretation services. So this is just for emergency situations where you
Gotcha.
cannot have the communication with the person.
Gotcha. So what are some of the agencies and organizations that you all already work with? Who do you partner with?
Well, we have been partnering with the 46 domestic violence certified agencies that are around the state. We also work with the consulates, the Latin American consulates primarily. We also work with Georgia Legal Aid, and, through the Atlanta Legal Aid offices, and also the Georgia Legal Services offices, in order to cover all the 159 counties. And we also work with agencies like the Latin American Association, or Ser Familia, Caminar Latino, um, and SETPA, and different other agencies that provide other type of resources.
Excellent. Wow. What would you say, Norma, to somebody who's kind of far away from you guys? Maybe they're located in South Georgia and they say, I don't think they can help me. They're so far away. They're in Atlanta. How can they help my organization? How do you respond to somebody who may say something like that?
You mean like a person who's looking for resources, or like an organization that is looking to promote their
Like
resources?
like an organization that may need some help or support, because sometimes, what I've heard when I worked at the Department of Public Health.
Mhm.
And when I was there, sometimes I would do site visits in smaller counties, like in South Georgia or just in other remote areas. And people would say, you guys don't understand what we're going through. You're in Atlanta, you're far away. How can you even understand kind of what we're experiencing? And it was difficult to have a conversation because it is very different when you go to different areas across the state. So, what would you say to somebody who works at an organization who just says, you guys don't understand, you're not here, you're not in my community?
Well, the truth is that, you cannot do everything by yourself. So we really need to work as a team. And as a team, I mean, all the organizations, we need to be together in order to provide better services. We receive phone calls from anywhere in Georgia. So you never know when I will be receiving a phone call from that county where you're working. And I can provide the services, or we can also, use social media and let the people that lives over there that the resource is available. We really want to create that connections, because that's the better way to create that path and provide better services for everybody. Being isolated, we have learned with the pandemic, is not as easy and as useful as it should be, so that's why I really encourage everybody to contact us, to let us know where they are, what type of services they are providing, so we can add them in our directory. And anytime somebody needs the resources, we will be trying to connect them.
That's such a good point, Norma. It's so hard to do anything alone. This is a statewide issue, and we have to work together.
Exactly.
I think that's such a good point. Okay, so same question, but what if it's an individual, someone who's a survivor who says, you guys are not here. You're not in my community. How can you help me? How would you respond to that individual?
Well, in the same way, I mean, people and victims, Hispanic victims of domestic violence, sometimes they are really isolated. They don't have family members in this country or friends. So we are here to listen to you, to hear you out. You can call us. I mean, you can let us know what's going on. We can help you to process what's going to be like the best step to keep working with, And if you are not safe, definitely you can call us and we can help you to get a safety plan and understand all the resources, because we can connect you also. And this is very important with the consulates, because sometimes the consulates, I mean, they are here in Atlanta, and probably the person over there doesn't know, or they cannot come to the consulate here, but we can connect you. And your consulate has a lot of other resources that are not just domestic violence, like resources from their country of origin.
Yeah, yeah, that's so helpful. Okay, last question, Norma.
Sure.
For the people who are watching this video right now, what would you want them to know? What should they take away from watching this video?
Well, I think domestic violence is a social problem, and all of us can be part working out, to enhance the safety of all our family members. Unfortunately, victims of domestic violence could be anyone. It doesn't matter the race, it doesn't matter where are you from, your age, anything. Anybody can be a victim of domestic violence, and you never know if you can be that hand and can help someone to be safe with their family. So the resources are here. We just want you to know who we are, what we do, and how we can collaborate together. And together we can end this domestic violence.